Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Naveen, and today I'll be taking you through MAHCET visual reasoning section. So this comes under the reasoning section. Okay. So we'll be doing some around 20 questions, and we'll look into the concepts required or what are the tricks that will help you solve questions related to figures pretty quickly. So once again, good afternoon. And there are only 2 days to go, guys. Okay. So you guys make sure that you attempt the All India Open MAHCET mock. Okay. The link to that mock is given in the description and it's also there in the chat. So make sure that you click on it, register and write the mock. 19th is the last day for MAHCET. Okay. So everyone, please make sure that you write the mock. And also make sure that you like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends, whoever is who's going to write MAHCET this year, or even if they are not going to write MAHCET, if they are going to appear for testnet or some other exam, make sure that you share with them so that they can also have some benefit of these videos. Okay, so this is the first figure. So this is completion of the figure, right? We have got different types. One completion is where the end figure is missing. The other one is where a figure somewhere in between is missing. The third type is where you find relations between pair of figures or a group of figures. And the third type is where one of the figures is wrong. You need to find the wrong one, which is called odd one out, right? So what should be the answer? Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So if you look at each figure, they have two lines, right? A vertical one and a horizontal one. And if you follow the pattern for this particular figure, the first one, you will realize that it's moving in the anti-clockwise, isn't it? Going by that logic, the last figure should have this particular stick in this format, right? Since we do also have none of the above, so we have to be a little more considerate. We should also check the other stick. So if you look at the other stick, which one is the horizontal one? Initially it was pointed like this, then it was pointed like this. So this is also moving in the anti-clockwise direction, right? So the next figure should have the second stick in this format. So obviously, as everyone has answered, D is the answer. Very good. You guys were very quick. That's nice. The next one. In case if you guys are not able to see, there is a plus sign here. There is a minus sign here. There is a plus sign here, minus. There is a plus sign here. There is a minus. There is a plus sign. There is a minus. Right? And all the figures also have plus and minus signs. This is a plus one here. Okay. Pretty simple. This is like a torch whose the rear part has a negative sign and there is a plus sign in between it, and it's moving anti-clockwise 45 degrees every time, right? So I hope I don't have to explain. The answer is going to be delta again. Very good. Very good, everyone. Nice. So these questions are easy. We will gradually move towards the difficult one. Okay. Third one. So we need to select the figure that will come next in the following series. So every figure is made up of two types, right? The one is the double arrowed sign. So it's initially on the top, then it's at the bottom, again it's on the top, again it's at the bottom, then the question figure should have it on the top, right? So if it's going to be on the top, we can't have alpha or we can't have delta as the answers for sure. It could be Bravo, Charlie, Echo, BC में से कोई भी हो सकता है. Now, if we look into the three arrows, initially they were pointing towards the east, then they were pointing towards the south, then they were pointing towards the west, then they were pointing towards the north. So they are moving in the clockwise direction, the direction of the arrows, and it has always been consistently 3 arrows, right? So ab iski bari hai, sorry, since it's going clockwise, so the turn is to be in the east. So from the given options, I believe only Charlie makes sense. So C should be the answer. Very good. Everyone has answered it correctly. Nice. Next one. Again, we have to complete the series. So if you look at the series, they are in a certain pattern. So the first and second are somehow related. The third and fourth are related. The fifth and sixth should be related. However, first and second related is the same logic applicable for third and fourth. So if you look at the two figures, you will find that they are nothing but they are the mirror images, right? Similarly, the third and fourth, they are the mirror images. So we need to find out the mirror image of the fifth figure. The fifth figure should have a triangle. We should have a 6 on the top. So Bravo and Charlie will not make sense. Now beneath 6, we need to have a figure which looks like a rectangle, but it's not. It's actually a particular quadrilateral whose the current figure right hand side, it's longer, right? So the mirror image of this figure, this shaded part, should be something like this, should be smaller, right? So between alpha and delta, we will find that it is true for both. Now, if you look at 6, the mirror image of 6 should be something like this, very similar to the small letter English letter D. D की तरह दिखना चाहिए. So of course A will not make sense, and if we compare, delta makes sense. So again, D is the answer. Good, good. Next one. Select a suitable figure from the answer figures which would replace the question mark. So there is some pattern going on. See, every figure is made up of at least 2 or at least 2 shapes. For example, right now every figure here is made up of 3 shapes. One is the square or the rhombus at the center. Then we have circles around it, and then we have a small circle which looks like a pinhole or a dot inside the square. So if you look at the rhombus part, it's consistently rhombus, right? So we are supposed to have rhombus. If you look at the 4 options, we do have a rhombus at the center. If you look at that pinhole or the dot inside the rhombus, you will find that it is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So it was initially facing northwest, then it is facing southwest, then in the third figure it is southeast. Next turn it should be in the northeast. So alpha and Bravo doesn't make sense, right? Now, if we look at these circles, the number of circles outside the rhombus, they are decreasing. So it was 4, 3, 2, and now we are supposed to have a 1. So Charlie and Delta, they both have 1 circle outside. But what should be the orientation of that black and the white thing? So how do we understand that? So people are confused between Charlie and Delta, right? So there is something going on between the black and the white shaded portion here, right? I don't know about the other circles, but the dot, wherever it is, that circle black shade is pointing towards the dot. जिधर को भी dot जाएगा, whichever circle is there on that edge or on that side of the rhombus, you'll find that the circle's shaded portion, the black portion, is towards the dot, right? It's always there. So we know that between Charlie and Delta, the circle that we are supposed to have, its shaded portion should be pointing towards the dot. So between the two options, D makes sense. Why do I have to worry about the other circles, their orientation? Because in the final figure, we are going to have only one circle outside, isn't it? And it's going to be pointing towards, it should be along this edge or the side of the rhombus where the dot is. So दूसरे का देख के क्या करेंगे, है ना? So I hope now it is clear. D, yes, frozen. D makes sense. Next one, completion. Very simple. If you look at the corner figures, which are three circles and a square, the square is moving clockwise. So it was initially facing northeast, then it was southeast, then it was southwest. Now it should face northwest. So Bravo and Delta can't be the answer. Next, if you look at the triangles at the center, made up of three triangles, all the three triangles are facing upwards. Then there is one triangle facing downwards. Again, three triangles are facing upwards. Since we do not have enough figures, going by this pattern, it's like it's switching, right? The middle triangle is initially facing north, then south, again north, then going by that logic, it should face south. So C or Charlie option is the answer. Right? Yeah, good. Everyone is correct. Nice. The next figure. Here, the figure is complex at the center with a dot and a smiley shape, semicircle or an arc of it. Then we have got small triangles around the circle, and we also have the letters. Now the thing is, here we are not missing the last figure, but it's a figure which is missing somewhere in between. So this is little difficult as compared to the last figure, because you can completely follow a pattern. Sometimes in such questions we'll have to go by the options. Sometimes. वो कब पता चलेगा? When looking at the figure, you have no idea how the things are happening. So put figure one by one and try to make sense out of it. So if you look at the letters, we have G, H, I, J. Of course, we should have K and L here so that we can have M and N. So K and L chahiye. Looking at the options, there definitely we do have K and L. But where should K and L be placed? So if you look at G, H, I, J, right? So diagonally they are moving. So G is currently here, I is here. Then K should be here, so that KL will make sense, and then M end will make sense. So the initial letter of the pair of letters we have, it is moving along the corners in the clockwise direction, right? So G, I, K and M. So K, using this, we know that D and A can't be our answer. दो गए options हमेशा चले जाएंगे, आधे तो खत्म हो जाते. K and L, Bravo and Charlie both are correct. Now, if you look at the central figure, you can see that the dot is facing south, then it is facing west. Going by that logic, if it is going to face north, then the next figure it should be facing east, which it is. So between Bravo and Charlie, we need to find out where does the dot face. It should face north. So the only option between these two is B. Thankfully, so far, none of the above has not been one of the options. Right? Apurva, got it? Why B is the answer? Okay. So let me check. Okay, we have the same one. This is question number 8, not the previous one. Select the figure that will come next in the following series. So we have a diamond, then we have a leaf-like shape or a cauliflower type. Then we have a star at the center, we have a triangle and a square at the other two corners. So what is happening? Sorry. Anyone? B? I hope you guys are not talking. Okay. Are you guys talking about question number 8 or is it question number 7? Okay. So the star moves to the diamond shape, diamond moves to the leaf or the cauliflower, cauliflower comes here. Okay. So the bottom two figures stayed as such, the other figures they moved around. So now this is what we have. Now the diamond figure comes below, the square goes at the center and the cauliflower goes here. So initially the top three figures were moving in the clockwise direction, right? So these three were moving in the clockwise direction like this. Then in the next one, these three figures were moving in the clockwise direction like this, so that we get the next figure. Going by that logic, now we need to have the bottom two figures and the central figure, they should move in the clockwise direction in this format. Now when this happens, the triangle should go at the center. So D option cannot be your answer. The square should come at the southeast corner. And the diamond should come at the southwest. And the top two figures, they should remain as such. Right? So if you compare all the options, A cannot be your answer. B is very close, but this is not your answer. D is very close. No, it's not close. The bottom two are different. Charlie is your answer. Okay. Ashwi, is it clear? Charlie, the star and the cauliflower, they will stay as such because the bottom three figures are moving. Okay. Next one. In each of the question given below, which one of the 5 answer figures on the right should come after the problem figures on the left if the sequence were continued? So this is very similar to the previous question. We don't have a question mark. We just need to find out the next figure after this 5th one. Okay. So in these questions, again, you can have pairs or you can have group of 3 figures related, then the next 3 related. It can be anything, right? So we have letters, we have a circle at the center, we have a dot, then we have a square that is also moving around. So if we happen to follow the square is moving one space and then it goes here, it moves here, then it goes here. So square is moving random, right? So from corner as in north, west to north, then from north to directly east, then east to southeast, and then suddenly from southeast to southwest. I just gave you the hint here. So square was initially at the northwest, then it moved to north, then it was supposed to move northeast, but it did not. It straight away moved to east. Now from east, it moves to southeast. And from southeast, going by this logic, it should be moving to south. It doesn't, it moved towards southwest. So can we form a group of 3 like this? Northwest, north, northeast, 3 consecutive directions out of 8 directions that we have. We have 8 directions, no? 4 primary, 4 secondary directions. So out of 3 consecutive directions, it goes for the 2 directions and the third one it skips. Then the next 3 directions that you are supposed to have in the clockwise order, it goes to the first 2, the third one it skips. So if I go that way, after southwest, the next turn will be west. and then the next turn will be northwest, wherein it is going to skip northwest. But we don't have to reach until here. We only have to go here. So can we say square is supposed to be on the west? If square is supposed to be on the west, three options are eliminated. Okay, we are talking about square. Now let's talk about the circle. The circle was in the east, then it moved to southeast, then it moved to south, then it moved to southwest, then it moves to west. So there is not a single direction out of the 8 directions that the circle is skipping. So after west, the next one should be northwest, clockwise. Alpha and Bravo, they both make sense. So anyways, before you start, following a particular figure or a particular part of the figure, you should look at the options. A or B में circle west time west था करना check, है ना? Because in both the remaining options we do have circle at the northwest. Then comes in the shapes or the letters we have inside the circle. So we have V, O, Z, U if I read them clockwise. Then we have V, O, triangle 5. Then we have V, O, triangle 5. It has moved. Then we have V, S star O. Then we have, triangles S star O. Then we have circle है या O है? O, triangle star S star. So what is the order? So what happens? Which particular shape is there throughout? O is there throughout. You call it O or 0. दोनों में से कोई एक है. So O was first of all facing in the northeast. Then it was facing southwest. Then it moved to northwest. Then it moved to southwest. तो O का shape अगर देखोगे ना, so O was here, then in the next figure O goes here, and in the next figure O goes here, in the next figure O goes here. So the pattern is O moves diagonally and then it moves clockwise. Then it moves diagonally and then it moves clockwise. So if I follow simply O, we know that O is going to move, right? O है या 0 है? 0 है. Or O can vanish also. Has O taken all the 4 regions? Yes. O सब में आ गया. Can we say O will be discarded now? Look at V. Once V has taken 3 because the previous figure was missing, तो उसके बाद V गायब हो गया. Right? If you look at Z, it just vanished. 5 is there. I don't think it should be 5. It should be actually S. Should this be 5 or should this be S? Okay, let's forget about other symbols. O should vanish. You guys are saying alpha. I'll repeat. Do you see the same letters or the symbols inside the circle in more than 2 figures? देखो, second and third figure में you have a triangle, you have a 5, you have a V, you have a 0 or O. In the third figure, you have the same symbols. And in the next figure, change happens. We have the same figures in the next 2. Same set of figures. It's not about how many common are there. I'm saying all the 4 shapes, all the 4 symbols are common. Do you think in the third one also we are going to have the same symbols and letters and shapes? No, no. It should be different. So it can't be alpha, no? Is it clear, everyone? Yes. The one previous to it is missing. They have not mentioned it. Okay? Okay. So before I move to the next slide, next question, I want everybody to please like the video. That's all we need. And also in the chat, The link to All India Open Mock for MHCET is there. Have you guys attempted it? Have you guys registered for it? There are only 2 more days to go. On 19th of February, it's going to get over. Okay. So if you really want to compete in the max, with the maximum number of students so that the score gives you the correct idea as to, where you stand. So make sure that you write this All India Open Mock. Hundreds and hundreds of students are writing this mock. Okay. So make sure that you guys register. The link is there in this in the chat. It has been spammed and it is also there in the description. And also please do like. Thank you. Next one. Select the figure. So complete this sequence, right? So we have a line, we have an arrow, we have a circle, we have one dot. So some things are constant, some things are alternating, some things are increasing, some things are coming up. I mean, some figures are coming out to be new ones, right? So if you look at the arrows, the arrow initially is pointing north, then east, then south, then west. It's moving clockwise. The next one should be upwards. And at the same corner, arrow is not moving around. So that means A can't be your answer. If you look at the number of dots, we have 1 dot here, we have 3 dots, we have 5 dots, we have 7 dots. These are consecutive odd numbers. So we are supposed to have 9 dots. 9 dots at the same corner. That is also not moving around. So D also vanishes, right? और arrow में ये ऊपर जाना चाहिए तो C भी गया. The number of lines that are used as the first corner figure is 1 line. Then you have 2 lines, which looks like an equal to. Then you have 3 lines, which forms a triangle. Then you have 4 lines that form a square. 5 lines should give us a pentagon. B makes complete sense because you have a circle, then you have a triangle, you have a circle, you have a triangle, then you're again supposed to have a circle. If you look at the remaining corner, right? Good, everyone. Good. Bravo. Very nice. So looks like you guys are very much prepared with these kinds of questions in MHCET. Nice. Complete this series. Only 3 figures are given. Might be a little complicated. So we have 2 triangles and we have a shape in the centers. The shape looks like a spiral, not exactly curved spiral, but made up of straight lines. So there is an increase in the line, then there is an increase in the line, there should be another increase in the line. The central figure, right? If I go by this logic, we are pretty sure B and D to nahi ho raha answer. Now between A and C, if we see what is happening, the triangles that you have, one is pointing upwards, the other is pointing downwards. Second figure, one is pointing upwards, the next one is pointing downwards. Upar wale mein fir upwards and downwards. The next one should be upwards and downwards ka combo. So C to nahi ho raha. Now between A and E, we have to be very sure that A is the answer because E bhi ho sakta hai na? Who knows? So is there a pattern in which these triangles are moving around? Okay. So if I follow the triangle that is facing upwards, so the triangle was facing upwards here, it was facing upwards, then it moved. The next triangle should be here facing upwards. Upar face karta hua triangle, as in the vertex which is at the top and the base is bottom, it should be there, right? So we do we have it here? ये इधर से इधर गया, ये इधर से इधर गया, फिर ये इधर से इधर जाएगा. Obviously, no. Do we have that in A? No. Right? So A is also not our answer. The answer is E. So what exactly will be the figure? The exact figure is going to be, the central figure should look like this. We need to have a triangle here and the other triangle should be here. Because the triangle facing downwards, this one is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So downward facing triangle should be at this southwest corner. Agreed? So just because you see, you don't always accept it that none of the above or cannot be determined is always the answer. No, they are not going together. Okay. If I draw the four squares, give me a moment. I'll make it clear. So please follow this triangle. This is the triangle. This is the triangle. This is the triangle, and the next triangle should be here. Please follow the triangle which is facing downwards. This is the triangle. This is the triangle. This is the triangle. Next triangle should be here. And of course, there is a dot inside that is not going to change the way they are moving around. So the blue triangle is moving anti-clockwise. The red one is moving clockwise, corner-wise. Is it clear? Acha, see. Oh, okay. Why did I erase C? Hold on. Okay, I don't know why I thought in the case of C, both the triangles are facing in the same direction. They are not. Sorry. Yeah. C is the answer because this matches, right? मैंने C क्यों eliminate किया था? क्या सोच के? I don't know. I somehow saw that both the triangles are facing in the same direction, but they are not. Okay. Yeah, C will be the answer. Next. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, everyone. Which figure will replace the question mark in the following series? So we have a small dots, 8 of them. Then we have two squares forming a star-like shape at the center. The number of black circles and the small circles, there is a pattern. The number of black circles, they are increasing. They are getting shaded. The white circles are getting shaded one by one. And that is happening in the anti-clockwise direction. The number of white circles are decreasing. So going by that logic, we are pretty sure that B or C to nahi ho sakta, because now we need to have only 2 white circles in the next figure, which is the north and the northeast, which is there only in A and D. Next, if we look at the shaded portion at the center, there is 1, then we have 2, then we have 3, then we have 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That part which is outside the star, the pointed parts, triangles, they are getting shaded in the clockwise direction. So right now we have 5, so we are supposed to have 6 now. 6 matlab ye to hoga hi. Now this north triangle should also be shaded. So between A and D, alpha makes sense, option A. ईशान alpha. एक और शेड होना है ना? Okay. The next one, again, complete the sequence. We have 9 small squares. Pick one particular shape and follow it. So if you look at this square, this black circle, it is moving from one corner to the next in the clockwise direction. So we need to have the black circle at the northwest corner, right? Now, if I follow the diamond shape, it is moving one place along this central column. Once it reaches the top, it goes back. So it continues like this. So the next shape, we need to have the diamond at the center, and it is a white colored diamond. It never changed its color, did it? I don't think it did. No. Everywhere we have the diamonds as white colored. So it should continue to be white in color. So delta becomes our answer, correct option. Right, good, good. But yeah, you guys are doing very good. Except for one or two of you in one or two questions. Everyone has answered it correctly. So middle figure is missing. So we have certain black dots on the top. We have certain white dots at the bottom. Then there is some figure which is getting made up of using straight lines in between. Right? The number of lines are increasing, right? We initially have a horizontal line, then we had an L-shaped figure, a right angled here, then we have 4 lines. So of course the figure should be between the previous and the next. So ye to aana hi hai. Look at the options. It is supposed to happen, right? That was the easiest part. Now if you count the number of black circles, it is decreasing. It was 5, this is 4, the next one should have 3. तभी 2 और 1 होगा, right? So if it is supposed to have 3, A and D can't be your answer. Now if you follow the white circles, we have 1, we have 2, then we are supposed to have 3 here, so that next time we have 4, then we have a 5. So 3 shaded, 3 non-shaded, between Bravo and Charlie option. Charlie nahi, B ho jayega, Bravo. Apurva, Bravo, not Delta. Delta though eliminated already. Okay. Next one, complete the series. So we have question mark, a phi, then we have a square and a star, and the central figure is, I believe, changing. Nice question. Delta, Bravo, Delta, Bravo. So confusion between Bravo and Delta, right? So the first thing to follow is the small shapes that we have around the or along the side of the square. Are they same or are they changing? So we have a question mark, question mark, question mark. We have question mark throughout. We have phi throughout. We have star throughout, and we have square throughout. So it means the corner or along the side of the square, those small shapes, they are not changing. They are just moving around. Just like we have a sun at the center and the planets move around in the very similar fashion. So if I go by that logic, all the 4 options make sense. Not the order, but all the 4 small symbols are present. Next, the central figure. If you look at the central figure, is it anywhere that the central figure is anyways related to the figures around it? No. We always have a different figure at the center as compared to the small symbols around it. We don't have a repetition, right? So we have an arrow, we have a hexagon, then we have got a pentagon, then we have a square. So can you guys tell me, this arrow is made up of how many line segments? This hexagon is made up of how many line segments? This pentagon is made up of how many line segments? This square is made up of how many line segments? So if you count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-sided figure, 4-sided figure. The next one should be a 3-sided figure. 3-sided में भाई चार्ली ब्रावो अल्फा तो आता नहीं है. It's going to be delta or echo. Bravo, so whoever answered Bravo, you are wrong, because you can't have the star repeated. वापस से स्टार कैसे आ सकता है? पहले तो कभी नहीं हुआ ऐसा. Now why? है ना? So B is not the answer. Now is it D or is it E? Now we have to follow those small symbols around. So if we follow the small symbols around, and if I look at, let's say, the question mark was at the corner, then it moved here, then it took a 90-degree turn, it moved here, and then it again took a 90-degree turn, it moved here. है ना? Question mark? Okay. If I look at the phi symbol, है ना? So phi symbol was here, then it moved anti-clockwise, it moved like this, and then it moves like this. So is there any pattern? No. This is more like a Z, and then this is something else. ठीक है. See, one thing that I can definitely say, that whatever is here facing west, it eventually goes to the northeast. West के बाद ना northeast जाना पड़ रहा है. Look at this square here. Square is facing west, it moves to northeast. Question mark is facing west, it moves to northeast. So if we have a phi which is facing west, its turn is to move to northeast. It makes sense in option D. है ना? Now, what about other symbols? How do they move? Not symbols, but the positions. So if you look at whatever is here, it moves diagonally. Whatever is here, it moves diagonally. Whatever is here, it moves diagonally in the next figure. So if we have a square here, it moves diagonally. So we are supposed to have a square here, and we already saw phi idhar aayega. So that is true for D option, right? So why am I solving all this? Because we also have an option E. तो हमें ये भी follow करना पड़ेगा pattern. So we are done with these two. Whatever is at the northeast corner, where does it go? It backtracks to northwest. Whatever is northeast, it goes to northwest. Whatever is northeast, northwest. Whatever is northeast goes to northwest. So question mark is supposed to be here. So it will be, right? Obviously, the fourth figure has to be star, but is it going to be at the position that is mentioned? Yes, because in every square, the small figures are taking these positions, no? So if we are done with question mark, phi, and square at those three corners, the last figure is supposed to be facing west, which it is true in D. Now we can be pretty sure कि D answer है, E नहीं है. Got it? Next one, we need to find out the mirror image of the given figure. When mirror is placed along AB. I hope you guys can see AB. Simple, right? If we have a triangle and if we have a mirror image, so the triangle should be pointing like this. We don't have that in B option. If you look at the arrow symbol is going to be the one closer to the mirror, but the shaded portion is going to be one towards the mirror. So A doesn't make sense, right? And of course, the next figure, which is, see, the arrow is common in Charlie and Delta option, C and D, है ना? ऊपर वाला figure देखो. So if you look at this figure, we are going to have this shape, but the shaded portion is in the actual image, it's towards the left hand side. So its mirror image should have the shaded portion on the right hand side, and it should not be flipped. D तो नहीं हो सकता. So C, Charlie. Good. Everyone has answered it correctly except for one of you. Next one. PQ is the mirror. This is where the mirror lies. And we have thankful. So please understand that there are certain English letters in uppercase whose mirror image remains same. For example, T, A, I, O, U, V, W, X, Y. बहुत सारे ऐसे लेटर्स हैं जो आप मिरर इमेज करके कुछ नहीं करोगे. So T will remain T, H will remain H, A will remain A. So THA is what you are supposed to have if you try to say it from the image, so mirror image ka from right to left. So we do not have THA here. We do not have THA here. We do have THA. Now next comes in N. N obviously dono mein same hai. Don't worry about it. K is also same. True. I see an I here and an I here. There is no I in the word thankful, right? So B, the fork of F is it usually points towards the right hand side, but its mirror will point towards the left hand side. So it's pointing towards the left. Right, everyone is correct. B. Good. Have you guys liked the session? लोग ज़्यादा हैं और सेशन में लाइक कम है. एक लाइक करो जल्दी. Mirror image of this figure, AB is the mirror. AB is drawn there. So pick the easiest one and then see कि कौन से options में नहीं है. जैसे arrow तो arrow is there in all the 4 options in the same side. तो वो तो चेक करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है. Look at the triangle. Triangle एक में तो कुछ गड़बड़ है. So looking at the triangle, B can't be the answer. Then let's look at the fish. In the actual image, वो जो आपका southeast है, that corner, right? Bottom right corner. So the fish has the shaded portion at the bottom. So it can't be at the top. ये भी गया. Right? Between A and D, the only difference is the design that we have. Not the square one, the other one, the last one. So since the shaded portion is above that small rhombus, so we are supposed to have above it, not below it. उसके नीचे तो नहीं होना चाहिए. So D will also not make sense. Just verify the fourth symbol as well. We have a square, we have a dot, we have 2 arcs, and then we have an upward side arrow shaded. Fine. A makes perfect sense. Good, good, good. बहुत बढ़िया. एकदम सही चल रहे हो सारे. Good. 3 of the following 4 figures are alike in a certain way and one is different. Select the odd one out. Which one is different from the rest? The problem with odd one out में ना guys ये होता है कि maybe your logic will be correct and the answer will be wrong, but the logic has to be something which is universally accepted or acceptable. ठीक है. You can't be like triangle का जो pointing है या फिर 90 degree वाला triangle है, the other one is equilateral triangle. That itself is not good enough. It should be more concrete. It should have more weightage when you say this is the logic. Okay. So if you look at the first figure, the figures are made up of 3, 4, 5, and 6 sides. As in you have a triangle, you have a square, a pentagon, and a hexagon. B may be a 3, 4, 5, 6 sides के हैं. C may also you have a 3-sided figure triangle, a 4-sided figure, a square, a 5-sided figure, a pentagon, and 6-sided figure, a regular hexagon as we see. D में दिक्कत है. We have a triangle and then we have 2 shapes which are four-sided figures, and then we have only one which is a five-sided figure. D is your answer. Okay, it's the number of sides of those symbols inside the figure. Okay. Next one, find the odd one out. 1, 2, 3, 4 में से किस में गड़बड़ी है? When you have geometrical figures, it has got nothing to do with the angles. Okay, याद रखना, क्योंकि ये figures बहुत accurate नहीं होते हैं. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to understand whether a given triangle is equilateral or isosceles, right? So don't go by the angle or something. Go by the number of sides or maybe where it is pointing. वो सब important हो जाता है. Triangle में किधर भी point कर लो. Unless and until you don't have two triangles, you won't understand one is pointing where another is pointing where. There is no reference to it. है ना? So which one is the problem? क्या problem है? किस में दिक्कत है? No one has answered so far correctly. You guys are answering A, B, C. तो कुछ लोगों ने तो आंसर सही करा. Not all of you. The problem is with figure 3. If you start with the figure at the center and if you move outwards, you have a three-sided figure enclosed inside a four-sided figure, and that five-sided figure, and that five-sided figure is enclosed within a six-sided figure. The next one is three-sided figure 4 and 5. Here you have 3, 3 and 5. Here you have 3, 4 and 6. Which means smaller the figure, lesser the number of sides. But that is not there in the third figure. Third figure matlab alpha. Okay, so it won't be Bravo or Delta. Clear? Option A says no third figure. This is third. 3 here stands for third figure. Ye third figure. So this is the first question where there was so much of differences in your answers. Next one, a figure series of 6 parts is given. Out of these 4 parts are labeled A, B, C, D. One of these 4 parts is incorrect. Find the incorrect part. So odd one out again. It's very simple. Hint. The orientation of these segments has got nothing to do with the answer. The orientation, मतलब left से right, northwest से southeast, southwest, क्या हो रहा है? It has got nothing to do with it. Very good. So people who were able to figure out D, अच्छा D की बात कर रहे हो? अच्छा. Please also write why D. Why? Because it is symmetrical and none of the other figures are symmetrical. That's why. Other figures are also symmetrical. You have to just see it. We do have axis of symmetry for figures. I mean for D and other ones as well. I just gave you the answer, isn't it? C is the answer. Can anybody tell me why C is the answer? Very simple logic, but very good logic. ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसे कुछ भी random है. Anyone who can tell me why Charlie is the answer? C क्यों है? Count the number of segments. No श्रेया, बाकी में 13 है. Addition भी गलत कर दिया. In all the figures except C, you have 13 segments. So you have 3, 3, 3, 9 plus 4, 13. So you have 13 segments here. You have got 2, 3, 2, which is going to be 7. 7 plus 6, 13. Then you have 3, 3, 3, 9. 2 plus 2, 4. That is 13. You have got 3, 3, 3, 2 plus 2. That is 13. You have got 3, 3. That is 6. Plus 8. This is 14. Next one you have 2, 2, 2, 2. That is 8. And 1, 1, 1, 5 times at the four corners and at the center, 5, right? So 8 plus 5, that is also 13. So you have 13 number of segments in each of the other figures except C. बहुत सिंपल था. Orientation वगैरह symmetry कुछ नहीं था यहाँ. Good. Clear everyone? I hope there is no doubt. Okay, I just want to know before I proceed, how many of you have attempted the All India Open Mock for MAHCET? How many of you? Not registered, attempted. अभी तक दे दिया exam. Anyone? No? क्यों नहीं दे रहे? घर पे रिजल्ट बताना पड़ता है, इसीलिए. घर पे बताओ ही नहीं कि एग्जाम दे रहे. Mock as in not the actual exam, so that you don't have to worry about the result, right? Okay, good. Shreya will be writing it today. I want everyone to please, okay, that's a request. Of course I can't track you guys down. क्या करूं, आप लोग के YouTube चैनल पे जाके वो कमेंट करो, नहीं ना. So make sure that you attempt the mocks. Okay, एक मॉक है, अवेलेबल है, मतलब नहीं मिलते ना ऐसे. Where say you'll online जाके सर्च करोगे MAHCET mock, right? 2 days before the exam, 5 days before the exam, 4 days before the exam, and that mock may have errors and will be attempted by, let's say, 40 students. 40 students में how can somebody tell you how good or bad you are, where you stand? When you have 5,000 people writing a mock, then it gives you a very good idea as to where you stand, isn't it? और MAHCET में देखो महाराष्ट्र वाले स्टूडेंट्स तो बहुत लिखने वाले है ना. So people who are outside Maharashtra, you guys really need to do, because Maharashtra kids, they are very good with MAHCET paper, because they treat MAHCET and they've studied for it very seriously, because many of them do not even write CAT. ठीक है. शुभम, it is there in the chat में देखो. चैट में ऑल इंडिया ओपन मॉक का लिखा हुआ है ना. होल्ड ऑन, आई विल जस्ट कॉपी पेस्ट इट एंड सेंड इट. सो मैंने फिर से भेज दिया, ठीक है. एंड इट इज देयर इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑल्सो, शुभम, ठीक है. चलो, सो आई होप टुडे सेशन वाज हेल्पफुल. वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट आवर CAT 2023 comprehensive program. One batch has already begun. We have had a couple of classes in each of the 3 sections so far. So what all do we provide you with? A tablet, offline reading material, more than 10,000 questions for practice on your online account. In your online account, more than 75 mocks for CAT and OMET exams. More than 15 sessions for GDPI and VAT preparation after the results are out. Okay, more than 200 hours of live classroom sessions. So we discuss everything. it's not like a one-way communication. If you guys are going to have doubts, ask. सब allowed होता है, ठीक है? And also, tomorrow is the last date for the scholarship test. So you can get up to 90% scholarship. All you have to do is write an exam. देखो, सोचोगे कि एग्जाम नहीं देते हैं, सीधे एडमिशन ले लेते हैं, एनरोल कर लेते हैं. क्यों कर रहे हो? एग्जाम लिख दो, क्या पता 10% स्कॉलरशिप भी मिल जाए. पैसे बच ही तो रहे हैं, right? And even if somebody who is not going to, enroll for it, make sure that you write the exam just for the sake of knowing as to what level of difficulty these exams are. क्योंकि ये एग्जाम जो है कैट लेवल से थोड़ा नीचे ही होगा, ठीक है? So everyone, please make sure that you register for this. The timing is 7 p.m. onwards and you can get up to 90%. 90% समझते हो? जितने में बुक खरीदोगे उतने में आप पूरे एक साल कोर्स कर लोगे. Okay, and 21st February at 7 p.m. Mr. Saral is going to take a session. As in, why is it important to start CAT 2023 preparation right now? If you cross the month of March max, March mid तक, उसके बाद शुरू करोगे, there will always be a bit of pressure. So if you are targeting CAT this year, make sure that you attend this session so that you know which is the right time to start preparing. Okay, and it's also going to help you with the test taking strategy, which is the most important part in any competitive exam. So please make sure that you register for this. The link to this is also given in the description below. TISNET, the other exam that is around the corner. TISNET GK is going to start from 19th February daily at 9:30 p.m. Okay, so make sure that you join these sessions every day. And also, the last lap to TISNET, the complete revision, has already begun. It happens every day at 8 p.m. So the complete revision is going to happen in 8 days. Okay, so please make sure that you guys subscribe and keep the notification bell. Click on the notification bell icon so that whenever there is going to be a session, you are notified about it. So you don't have to actually sit and solve everything. You can simply lie down and just look at the videos. You never know, you may catch up a couple of things which are very important that may interest you, that may help you solve like 4 or 5 questions in the exam. Nothing of that is going to hurt, right? It's always beneficial. So make sure that you join these sessions. And this is what I was talking about. So All India Open Mock, MAHCET, 19th February is the last day. So make sure that you guys register and attend the mock. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. I hope today's session was beneficial for you. Before you leave, make sure that you like, subscribe and share the video. And you can also follow us on Instagram. You can like our Facebook page and you can join our Telegram channel. You can also download our app. You can get it from Google Play. Thank you. See you guys again later. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you, Rishi.